and just feels the spell mechanic as well, the healing that synergizes well with the IO.
What about the other carry with an inbuilt VKB, the lifesteal? Do you think that one is also sold?
You need to see the matchup. You can't just pick that hero blindly.
Yeah,
Why
it is always going to be good versus like ET and Disruptor in stages of the game, but that hero's been a bit underwhelming for me.
Why do you think so?
I just think he just takes too long. He really just takes such a long time to farm compared to a lot of these carries that just have natural built-in mechanics of like steroids. We have Medusa with split shot. We have Terrorblade with Conjure Image. We have, I mean, Morphling just being able to farm pretty much anything at any point in the game. So.
And we're back with the draft, guys.
And we are, and we're gonna have that Bane ban. So that's a BKB piercing disable that they're taking out.
It's also a great setup for a possible skewer back, the relocate type of a play that we've seen Bane being a bit more popular during the main event compared to the group stage. BKB piercing ability, you do not need to get the full duration grip. Sometimes a second and a half is exactly what you need. PSG LGD. Okay, I
so
like
they're
this.
gonna take it. So that's a backline hero to get on top of IO. That's always nice. Mixed damage carry with ET. And if it is gonna be, that's also the thing what we were talking about earlier, where it's like forcing the Magnus out of a position. Storm Spirit is one of those heroes that it's not the worst matchups. Magnus still does pretty okay, but Storm thrives versus melee heroes, period. So, and I saw a couple times where even Nothing to Say, I think it was versus, Elephant, he got solo killed by Maybe, who was the Storm Spirit. It was Maybe who, Somnus, who popped off, is getting solo kills in the group stages, but that's a matchup that you can.
I believe T1 didn't mean to pick Storm Spirit in this game. That's the feeling that I get. It's just they used this Queen of Pain ban that PSG LGD did, and they also banned out Lina. Lina, one of the heroes that doesn't have bad matchups, I would say. I don't think anyone wins against Lina. No matter what happens, she's still gonna farm, and she's one of the, like I said, better but decent against Storm Spirit. She's not gonna come out even, I believe. And yeah, so Storm Spirit, as you mentioned, the backline jumper, they have no low cooldown stuns. Puck is still available if they want to try to counter Storm Spirit with the leash mechanic, even though with the recent changes, the Storm Spirit item build, going for Kaya Sanj so that the coil and the silence does not last as long. That's one way to deal with that.
What could LGD be thinking then now? You already talked about how they're maybe moving the Magnus from position, but they actually really like it and Nothing to Say as well.
They do, because he likes playing like he transitions most of the times too. But they've been having it a lot of time with Faith Beyond as well, so they don't mind moving it. I don't think they even that's probably not even like, oh, okay, we can't put Mag May. They're probably like, whatever, ignore that.
Just go for the
they're
best
just
draft.
like, we need to have disables now.
There's the Lion.
So they're gonna take the Lion.
And then they pick up their carry as well, so the Mag
pace
remains a flex pick then.
Yep. And that's a pace hero, so they can set tempo. They can play a lot faster this time around. I feel like last time, this Terrorblade picked, we mentioned at the end how they picked it into Lion, so I feel like they did pick it in a bit of a tough position for him to actually just straight up carry the game on his own. This one, just much faster pace. He's not actually countered by much of anything. You're good versus ET. You're a natural BKB buyer as well.
Oh, a Spectre. What do you think of this quarter-quarter matchup will cost between Spectre and Ursa?
I like Ursa here quite a lot. Ursa comes online quickly. I think it's more of a backline jump thing, so that Storm Spirit has another hero to play with. So IO leaning towards T1 here.
Yeah?
I'm just seeing a bit of limited disable without heavy commitment for the Ember Spirit. So I feel like Ursa now is addressed because of this Venomancer, but I'm worried about the Ember Spirit going crazy because I only see one way to actually catch him, and it's Static Storm right now. Stomp is very difficult. If Storm has a good timing and a good game, he could get an Orchid. So I'm going to be looking at Carl, looking at the mid lane, looking at how good these lanes actually will go for T1 to see how they're going to be able to handle this Ember Spirit, because I do think that Ursa is maybe just, now you're scared of Ursa. We saw Nisha the other day also too. Is, hey, we're also scared of this carry. Boom, Nisha goes crazy as Ember. I think this hero can't do that.
Well, from the host, so I can't lean any way, but I really want to know what BSJ has to say before his last word.
Thank you, Avo. As this game is called Defense of the Ancients, I think this specific game should be called Defense of the Roshan, as it is the paramount objective for LGD to be taking this game, as the panel did highlight. But I want to emphasize what T1 did in order to address this exact thing, and that is the vision game that they have from long range. They have the Venomancer wards to scout, the Spectral Dagger from the Spectre in order to scout, the ET Spirit, as well as the Kinetic Field from Disruptor. They have so many ways of gaining information in order to get that initiation on LGD when they try to force their objectives, that if they can manage to keep the distance, manage to take the fights on their own terms, T1 will have no problem taking this game. However, they have Ember and the Ursa empowered by the Mag to get up in their faces, low cooldown, run at you, Dota. If LGD can take that first Roshan, snowball it into a second one, they should have no problem taking this game. Winner of this game secures top 6 and another $800,000 in the international, and I'm going to let you guys take it away, Suns fan and Cinder.
Thank you, BSJ. We have game number 3, LGD versus T1. You just heard BSJ break it down, Cinderin. I mean, pretty much everything he said was correct. T1, a lot of vision, a lot of ways to contest Roche, but LGD are the ones that can actually kill Roche really quickly. So I think that's going to be a very important factor in this game. But what are your thoughts on these lineups? You get to see, you called the Venomancer. I'm going to give you credit. You said it, and it came true.
Yeah, it is a really good Venomancer game for a time, at least. And I think what T1 needed here was a way to slow down the Ursa IO lane from just getting too far ahead. We've seen empowered Ursa in a secret series earlier and some during the groups. My concern outside of that, I think T1's laning stage should be really good. I think their lanes are very nice. Like the Veno ET lane is very strong bottom against Ursa +1. Yep. They're even starting as 3 right now, leaving Savage alone up top, 23 Savage on the Spectre. This is not going to be how to keep their lanes, of course. I want to know what T1 do when BKBs come out. Because I don't think they're going to dominate the lanes and the game hard enough that PSG LGD don't get there. And that's my problem with the Dire lineup right now. They have nothing against BKB. They're actually going to have to kite for the full duration. Nobody kills during it. All you have is a little bit of right click from Storm and Spectre. Unless your Elder Titan somehow finds the most amazing Astral Spirit in the fight. So I think as far as, you know, the metagame between these two teams with